Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, Chapter 10, text number 10. Aho Denyam Aho Kashtam Parkayai Shanabhanguraihi Yannopakuryad Aswarthair Martyah Swagnati Vigrahaihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. This body, which is eatable by jackals and dogs after death, does not actually do any good for me, the spirit soul. It is usable only for a short time and may perish at any moment. The body and its possessions, its riches and relatives must all be engaged for the benefit of others, or else they will be source of tribulations and misery. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Similar advice is also given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Etavat janma safalyam dehinam iha dehishu praner arther dhiya vacha shreya acharnam sada. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefits of others with his life, wealth, intelligence and words. This is the mission of life, one's own body and the bodies of his friends and relatives, as well as one's own riches and everything else one has, should be engaged for the benefits of others. This is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bharat bhumi te haile manushya janam yar janam sarthaka kari kara para upkar. One who has taken birth as human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. The word upkuryat means para upkar, helping others. Of course, in human society, there are many institutions to help others, but because philanthropists do not know how to help others, their propensity for philanthropy is ineffectual. They do not know the ultimate goal of life, Shreya Acharanam, which is to please the Supreme Lord. If all philanthropic and humanitarian activities were directed towards achieving the ultimate goal of life, to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they would all be perfect. Humanitarian work without Krishna is nothing. Krishna must be brought to the center of all our activities, otherwise no activity will have value. So these are some very interesting conversation which is happening between the Devatas and Dadichi Rishi. So a lot of enlightening understanding we can have from these conversations. Sometimes we find that it's difficult for us to fully surrender our life, our intelligence, our mind, everything in the service of the Lord. And somehow or other, our mind is distracted, attracted towards sense gratification. So here, in these few conversations, we find there is a very convincing arguments which one can try to understand and see that actually should I use this body for sense gratification? Or should it be used for the welfare of everyone? These two things are very nicely described and discussed about in these few verses. Just like here you see, Dadichi Rishi is saying, Parakyaihi. One should actually consider whether this body actually belongs to me. This body, after death, it belongs to either the animals which eat it away. And then he says, Shana Bhungairhi. It is perishable at any moment. So with these considerations, one should actually analyze whether such kind of body, which does not even belong to me, should I invest so much of my time, energy in maintaining the body which actually does not belong to me? You see, there is a similar, very beautiful explanation given by Narada Muni with respect to Nalakuvera and Manigriva. These are the thoughts of Narada Muni. Before Narada Muni curses them to get the life of trees. So being very compassionate, when Narada Muni saw that they have got such an exalted life of being born in the family of Devatas, they are using and utilizing this body for sinful activities, drinking, and going around with women, enjoying. So before cursing, Narad Muni, he is thinking about what actually an intelligent person should consider before he commits sinful activities for sense enjoyment. So first thing he says is one should understand same thing, that this body is very, very temporary. Any moment it can perish. And the final result of this body after it is perished is, he says, Krimi, Vit or Bhashma. This is the final result of this body. Krimi means it will be eaten away by worms. Vit means after the other animals eat it, they will pass it as a stool, so it will become stool. Or Bhashma. Or if it is burnt, it will be reduced to ash. So Narad Muni is saying, after considering this, that this is going to be the final end of this body, should an intelligent person go on with sinful activities to maintain this body? Should he do that? And then, in the next argument, Narad Muni is saying, first one should consider whether even while living, after death the body is gone, it belongs to the dogs, it belongs to the jackals, it belongs to the worm, or it goes into the earth, right? Then he's saying one should consider whether while living it belongs to me. Isn't it? This is also very important. That while living, does it belong to me? So, he says, Dehaha kim annadatuhu. One should consider whether this body belongs to one who is maintaining this body. We are all dependent on so many people for the maintenance of this body. So if this body is being maintained by someone else, does it not belong to the maintainer, one who is maintaining this body? So that is called annadatuhu. Swam, or one should consider, does it belong to me? Nishektur means one who sowed the seed of the living entity in the womb of a woman, our mother. That means our father. One who discharged the semen and who gave the living entity in the womb of our mother. Whether the body belongs to him, one should think. Matur, or one should consider whether this body belongs to the mother who maintained me for so many months in the womb. Matuhu pitur, sometimes the mother's father takes away the child. If he is childless, he takes away the child and he maintains him. Matuhu pitur, our mother's father. So, whether this body belongs to him. Va balinaha, somebody may take away this body by force. Whether the body belongs to him. Kretur, sometime the living entity is sold to another person as a slave. So whether this body belongs to that master. Agnehe, or after death, does it belong to fire? Shunahu apiva, or does it belongs to animals when the body is thrown away to be eaten by animals like dogs or jackals? So one should actually think and consider that does this body at all belong to me? I am working so hard, doing all kinds of sinful activities in trying to maintain the body which actually does not belong to me. There are so many claimants of this body, isn't it? So, Prabhupada, he used to give that example of investing our money, whole life, in wrong bank account. At the end of the life, if you come to understand that whole life you have been saving money and you are investing money, but that money whatever you have saved and put, you have put it in wrong bank account. It is of no use practically. So, this should be the consideration when we want to engage this body for sense gratification. See, these are all very important things. Sometimes we wonder how not able to control my senses, not able to control my mind, all these things. Isn't it? So this is what we should see. This enlightenment, this knowledge is very important. Without knowledge, there is no question of detachment. Of course, our process of devotional service takes care But then practically, if we don't endeavor properly in our devotional service, jnana and vairagya will not manifest. You see? So, if jnana and vairagya is not manifesting, then we should understand that actually there is something wrong in the my practice of devotional service. Otherwise, it is said in Bhagavatam that jnana and vairagya will manifest very soon. Janayati ashu vairagyam jnanam cha yad ahetukam. Isn't it? So, this very important understanding knowledge one should get by reading these very important instructions which are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then it is also said here, aho denyam aho kashtam, that actually if this body along with its possessions, along with its different kinds of possessions, either in the forms of relatives, friends, bank balance, or anything else which I claim to belong to me. Because the whole material bondage means aham and mameti. It is not just me. It is me and mine. So, if this me and mine are utilized for sense gratification, the result will be aho denyam aho kashtam. Whole life will be filled with misery and tribulations. See, our whole life will be filled with misery and tribulations. So Dadichi Rishi, that is why he is saying, is it not better, or is it not intelligent to understand that actually the body with its different possessions should be utilized for the welfares of all living entities? That is what one should consider. So Prabhupada is quoting one very interesting verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also quotes this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this comes in the context where it is said that Lord Chaitanya, he brought the seed of devotional service from Goloka Vrindavan, and he wanted to sow it in this material world. So we all know that it is said, Golokera prema dhana hari nama sankirtana. This chanting of the holy name of the Lord, which bestows love of Godhead, is not the property of this material world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very, very mercifully, anarpita chiram, for a very long time, because he had not bestowed this love of Godhead, so he wanted it to be distributed in this material world. Understanding that without this Krishna prema, which is enjoyed by the inhabitants of Vrajavasis, so apart from that, it has not been distributed to others. And without that, the material world has no meaning. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in order to himself taste and also distribute, he appeared as Lord Chaitanya. So he brought this seed of devotional service and sowed it in this material world. And it is said that the first fructification was Sri Madhavendra Puri. And then the seed of love of God had fructified in the form of Ishvara Puri. And then Lord Chaitanya, who himself brought this seed of devotional service, became the trunk and branches of this tree. And he also became gardener of this tree, and he wanted to relish and distribute. See, this is very important. All of us have two very important things to do, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching by his own life. He cultivated this whole garden. That is our very important duty. That Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Somehow or other, by our good fortune, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the seed of devotional service is sowed in our heart. It is our prime duty now that we have to take care of this Bhakti Lata by regular watering it, nourishing it. And the prime, very important method of nourishing this is Shravanam and Kirtanam. So otherwise, over a period of time, we will lose our enthusiasm. If we discontinue Shravanam and Kirtanam, we should understand, actually it's a very simple logic. If you don't daily water a plant properly, if you don't nourish it, it will dry up. Very soon it will dry up. So we should all see that when we came to Krishna consciousness, when we started our Krishna consciousness, we were so enthusiastic, but over a period of time, this is a common question devotees ask, very common. Prabhu, when I came, I was so enthusiastic, but over a period of time, I lose that enthusiasm. So very simple understanding is that are we becoming gardener? Have we taken up that seriously? That actually, by fortune, I have obtained the seed of devotional service, but I should be regularly watering it, nourishing it. Otherwise, it will dry up. So many weeds will also grow. Its growth will be stunted. So I have to be very careful in gardening. I have to take out the weeds. I have to water it regularly. I have to fence it. So many things are required for gardening. Otherwise, the plant will dry up. Simply being very fancy, I got a plant is not enough. We have to take care of it. So we have to become an expert gardener. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. You see? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, he is lamenting that I am gardening it, so many fruits are coming. Can I taste all these fruits? I would like to distribute, how many fruits can I taste? I would like to distribute these fruits to everyone. You see? So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. In that context, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is acting as a gardener, he says this verse, Bharat bhumi te janma hoilo yar, Janma sarthak kari kara para upkar. He says, at least people who are born in Bharatavarsha, they have great advantage because all these Vedic literatures are available. All the great acharyas have taken birth here. The Supreme Lord personally comes in Bharatavarsha. So very fortunate to be born in Bharatavarsha. So these two things are very important. Janma sarthak kari. We have to endeavor to make our life perfect, and that itself is not enough. We have to also distribute this. Janam sarthak kari kara para upkar. And we have to distribute this to others for the welfare of all. Because that is a symptom of a advanced devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, he is not thinking about just himself. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked that I want to give you some benediction, when the Lord said, he said, my dear Lord, for myself I don't require anything. I don't want. Because I have learned, I have practiced that anywhere in any circumstances, maha magna chittaha, I can be completely absorbed in your consciousness. So he has perfected his life. This is the perfection of life. But then he says, I am thinking about these living entities. Soche tato vimukha chetasa. Those who have turned away their face from you, I am just thinking about them. And they have made this huge civilization. Cut off, completely cut off from you. Vimudhan, he says. Vishesha mudhas. So, this is a symptom of an advanced devotee. So I'll just read that verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Etavat janma safalyam dehinam iha dehishu praner arther dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. So Prabhupada translates it. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. So Bhagavatam says actually it is the duty of every living entity to perform welfare for others with his praner, dhiya, vacha, artha, with all these things. And what is the welfare? Welfare, Prabhupada says, this verse what talks about it, shreyaha. It is not the so-called immediate welfare, benefit. It is the ultimate benefit for all living entities. Then in the next verse, okay. By his word, thoughts and words, an intelligent man must perform actions which will be beneficial for all living entities in this life and the next life. And then, in the next one, this is very interesting. I am merely a gardener. I have neither a kingdom nor very great riches. I simply have some fruits and flowers that I wish to utilize to achieve piety in my life. So here, Prabhupada explains, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took up two very important roles to explain to us also. One is as a gardener. And here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining this gardening of our, taking care of our Bhakti Lata does not require some special consideration, some special qualifications, like you have to be some very aristocratic person or something. A gardener is a simply gardener. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying, I am simply a gardener. I do not have riches. So he's saying, I have neither a kingdom nor very great riches. Isn't it? So materially, one may not be placed very opulently, but that does not hinder our cultivation of devotional service. This one should understand. It does not hinder. Then, in the next verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes up another role, that is to distribute. So he says, although I am acting as a gardener, I also want to be the tree, for thus I can bestow benefit upon all. So this is very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only wanted to be the gardener, he also wanted to be the tree. And Prabhupada explains in the purport why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that he wants to be the tree. This is, Prabhupada says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most benevolent personality in human society because his only desire is to make people happy. His Sankirtana movement is specially meant for the purpose of making people happy. He wanted to become the tree himself because a tree is said to be the most benevolent living entity. This is the example given in the Vedic literature. The tree is considered to be very benevolent. How it is considered, Prabhupada explains. It itself stands in heat, snow, wind, but it protects others from snow, heat, wind, everything. See? It is standing in heat, it is standing in snow, but it is protecting others from that heat, it is protecting others from that snow. You can imagine how much benevolent, not even considering about himself. This is the meaning of benevolence. Not that I have to think about myself, then I will think about others. That is not the idea. Mahatma means, real benevolence means he does not even think about himself. Dadichi is not thinking about himself. He is thinking about the welfare of others. This is the kind of benevolence that devotees are supposed to have. You can think about that. So, Prabhupada is saying here, he wanted to become the tree himself because the tree is said to be the most benevolent living entity. In the following verses, which is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna himself highly praises the existence of a tree. So Krishna, these words are spoken by Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavatam. So this is about in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So this is Lord Krishna is saying, just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. Their birth is successful. Their behavior is just like that of a great personalities. For anyone who asks anything from a tree never goes disappointed. See? This is Krishna himself describing about the qualities of a tree and how devotees should aspire to become something like this. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains this. According to Vedic civilization, Kshatriyas are considered to be great personalities because if anyone goes to a Kshatriya king to ask for charity, the king will never refuse. The trees are compared to those noble Kshatriyas because everyone derives all kinds of benefits from them. Some people take fruit, others take flowers, others take leaves, others take twigs, others even cut the tree, and yet the tree gives to everyone without hesitation. See? So this is the example of a tree, Prabhupada is saying. This verse quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Lord Krishna to his friends when he was taking rest underneath a tree after his pastime of stealing the clothes of the gopis, Vastra Harana Leela. By quoting this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us that we should be tolerant like trees and also beneficial like trees, which give everything to the needy person who comes underneath them. A needy person may derive many advantages from tree and also from many animals, but in the modern civilization, people have become so ungrateful, they exploit the tree and animals and kill them. These are some of the sinful activities of modern civilization. So, this is what we are seeing, that Dadichi Rishi, he is also expressing that it is far better, this momentary body, which actually will be eaten away by dogs and jackals, which will perish at any time, better to utilize it for the welfares of others. Because ultimately this body, for myself it will be of no use in sense gratification. If I use this body for my sense enjoyment, the only result will be tribulations, only result will be miseries. Whereas if this body is utilized for the welfare of every living entity, that is the perfection of our life. So we'll stop with this. If anyone has any question, I can, maybe one or.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, you are speaking up, we heard about welfare to others. So what is the best welfare we can do? Because there are so many types of welfare activities. So how we can do welfare to others?
So actually that is what Prabhupada is explaining. The best welfare is Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. The best swartha, self-interest of every living entity is to serve the Lord. So otherwise Prabhupada is saying all philanthropic activities, if they are not diverted towards Krishna, they are useless. It is just like the branches of a tree cut off from the main tree. Or the example is given, it is just like the decoration of a dead body. It has no meaning. So all these different kinds of welfare activities, until and unless people are taught that they should be meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, sometimes what happens, Prabhupada says, sometimes when there is, let us say, drought, or when there is, flooding, you will find so many these philanthropists will come up. Actually, their whole goal is to show they are so benevolent. They are distributing food to people. Isn't it? But Prabhupada says, where they will distribute grains, if these grains are not given by the Lord, that they will not recognize that actually everything is given by the Lord. Who am I? Isn't it? So until and unless all these philanthropic activities are done for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, they are all meaningless. They'll only increase our more and more false ego, more and more bondage in this material world. So Krishna consciousness has to be preached. That is the best welfare activity. for ourselves, for our family, for our society, for everyone. That's the best.
One more thing, Prabhu. So, Krishna consciousness is the best welfare activity. So, that includes all other welfare activities?
Yes. Just like Prabhupada says, because a devotee loves Krishna, he loves Krishna's creation also. But loving Krishna's creation and cutting it off from Krishna, that is not Krishna consciousness. Isn't it? That is the mentality of Asura. So that there is no doubt about it. The different kinds of welfare activities can actually be diverted in the service of the Lord. If the result of those activities are given in the service of the Lord, it becomes Krishna conscious activities. Just like Prabhupada says, anyway, if you want to be very charitable, distribute Krishna prasadam. Distribute Krishna prasadam. So that Krishna consciousness is doing. You give for propagation of holy name, give for propagation of, prasadam everywhere. Okay. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.